Who doesn't love the delicious runny yolk from a poached egg? I know I do, but it can be a little intimidating to make. So in this video, I'm going to show you the foolproof technique so that your poached eggs are perfect every single time. Hi, I'm Chef Sabrina, teaching you the cooking and baking techniques you need to tackle any dish you've always been too afraid of trying. And if you like my videos, please consider subscribing. So what is poaching? So when we poach, we're actually cooking usually a protein like fish, chicken, or eggs, although it can be vegetables as well, at a low temperature for a relatively short amount of time. And the temperature ranges from 160 to 180 Fahrenheit, which is like 71 to 82 Celsius. And the time that we leave it in the liquid, or the time that we poach for, will depend on the type of protein or the type of food that you're poaching, and also if it's like a fish or a chicken, how thick it is. A lot of people don't like to poach, mainly for two reasons. One, because they say that especially fish will lack flavor at the end. But in my other video about poaching, I teach you exactly what to do so that your fish, and in this case a salmon, it's always flavorful and super delicious. And then two, because they say that it's really easy to overcook and your fish gets dry, or your chicken, or in the case of an egg, then you overcook the yolk and you don't get that runny, delicious yolk. So I'm gonna show you exactly what to do so that that never happens, and that every time you poach an egg, it's not only quick, but it is also absolutely the results that you want with that runny yolk, but like really nice white all around it. Okay, so how do we prepare our poaching liquid? Well, in this case, it's basically just water that I have in a relatively shallow pot. I want a wide pot, but not too high, because I don't want the eggs to move around too much as soon as I hit the water. So it's kind of like a shallow pot. And then two things. I like to season my water because it's really the only time I have to season everything from the inside out, like I always say, even though in this case it's really not that true, because the egg white is gonna enclose the yolk as soon as it hits the water. But still, I like to add a little bit of salt to my water, and for 8 cups of water I have a tablespoon of salt. And then the other thing we need to add is some vinegar, just plain white wine vinegar from your kitchen. And this is gonna help the egg white coagulate as soon as it hits the water and enclose the yolk. So for 8 cups of water, I'm gonna add a cup of vinegar. And then we said that the range that we poach in is from 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, or like around 71 to 82 Celsius. Now for the eggs, I like to take my water to at around 80, 81 degrees Celsius, or like 180 Fahrenheit. And I want to make sure that I control the temperature of the water really, really well, because I don't want it to boil. That would be boiling, not poaching, right? So how do we control that? With a thermometer. And this is very, very key, because unless you are really a super expert at poaching, if you're just starting or learning, the best way to control the temperature is by using a thermometer. It can be any thermometer, a candy thermometer, something like this, the one that you use for Thanksgiving in your turkey. And this is gonna be very key so that we don't overcook our eggs. Now there's another very important trick. We don't just want to crack the egg inside our water, because we are risking of breaking the yolk or just like splashing the egg white all around it. We want to actually crack it in a container, and then from the container, put it in the water, okay? That's very, very important. It's going to make your life so much easier. So if when you crack it, you end up breaking the yolk, use it for something else. Because what we want is a very clean yolk, right? Okay, so let me show you also what I have here while I wait for the water to come to temperature. I have ready with me a plate with a regular kitchen towel, and I need to have this ready so as soon as the eggs are done, I can just transfer them here and let them drain, because you don't want to put the eggs all wet on top of your eggs Benedict or your English muffin or your salad like I'm gonna do. So you leave it draining here for a little bit, and then you transfer it to wherever you want. And how we're gonna take them out? Well, you can use a colander, you can use one of these things. It's a little handheld colander. You can also use a spatula, whatever you have at hand that can drain the water, but also be very gentle with the egg. My water has come to temperature. Now swirl the water around, creating a little whirlpool where you can add the egg. Continue to move so that the egg doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. Make sure that you control the temperature once in a while so that your water doesn't go over. And now you can continue to swirl and add the second egg. So let me just tell you a quick story while I wait for these. When I used to cater, I had once to cater a brunch, and they asked me for 850 eggs Benedict. And yes, I did poach 850 eggs, and I could not see eggs for weeks after that. What I did learn though is that you can do these guys ahead of time. Once you put them on the cloth, you can actually wet another towel with some cold water and just gently put them on top of the poached eggs and wrap the whole plate or tray with plastic wrap, and you can put it in the fridge until the next day. And you just warm them up with a little bit of hot water, or you just leave them out until they come to room temperature, or if they're eggs Benedict, just the hot hollandaise sauce will bring them to temperature as well. But yeah, 850 eggs. I did not want to see a single egg after that. So these are ready. I'm going to turn it off and then gently place them on my towel. Let them drain for a little bit. And then I'm gonna serve them on top of a salad. I sauteed some onions and peppers just because I wanted to show you something different, that it's not eggs Benedict. Because poached eggs, they're not only just like the most amazing brunch item as eggs Benedict, but you can also eat them as a lunch. Okay, so my salad is here. I'm just gonna season them with a little bit of salt and some black pepper. And as I always say, taste, 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 right? It's my favorite part. Look at this beauty. Oh yes, we have a winner. This is gonna be really good with some crusty bread. And who doesn't wanna do this with the yolk? So I'm gonna keep eating this, but let me know if there are any techniques, any dishes, any ingredients that you are wondering how to cook or that you'd like to learn. Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching.